name is Dr. Ivalah Allen. Many of you have seen my previous video, or you might have emailed me and I've responded to you. I'm also the crazy person who sends out a lot of the Facebook messages and so forth. Welcome to the 73rd annual year of the High Plains Music Camp. You know, we've had this camp going for a long time, and normally this year I would be preparing name tags and t-shirts and going around to all the various rooms and buildings that we use, but we're not able to do that this year, so we're going to make the best of the situation. I'm in my office right now. It's warm here in Hayes, but I want to show you some of the places that you would experience if you were here on campus at camp. So we're going to take a little tour, and let's head downstairs. We're here in Malloy Hall, the building for the music and theater department at Fort Hays State University. So let's head downstairs to the band room called Dilly Band Room. Here we are in the Dilly Band Room. Now, I'm going to have my photographer do a spin around in a moment, but this room used to be about 2/3 the size of what it is today. We first had Hal Palmer 73 years ago, who started the High Plains Music Camp here on campus. Following Mr. Palmer's leadership, we had a new young band director come in named Lyle Dilly. I think it's safe to say that Lyle was a spitfire. He always let you know what he was thinking and what he expected, but he was one of the kindest and most generous men I knew. So when we were finally able, about 3 or 4 years ago, to get this room remodeled, it was dedicated as the Lyle Dilly Band Room. So I'm going to have the camera pan around, and you can see all the space we have in here now. So in here, during the regular school year, we would have our jazz bands, and orchestras rehearse in this space. During camp, we have the jazz bands and the 2 high school bands rehearse in here. Dr. Jeff Jordan and Dr. Peter Lil Pop, both of our band directors here, they were going to this year, and next year they will also be leading the camp's bands. And we also were supposed to have Avian Bear here, but she has agreed already to come next year to be our special band conductor for the honor band. So we have plenty of high schoolers to have 2 large symphonic bands, and hopefully when you come next year, you'll be able to rehearse in this space. Now we're in Palmer Hall, which is a recital hall and a rehearsal room inside Malloy Hall. I know it gets a little confusing. This is actually named after Hal Palmer, the gentleman who started the High Plains Music Camp. Now, as you can see out here, we have the area for either singers during the school year, where we have choir and Fort Hays singers, or we have our many faculty and student recitals in this space with this beautiful grand piano that's currently covered up to keep it safe and clean. But during camp, this is where the music theater scenes would rehearse. The High Plains Music Camp Choir, the High Plains, the High Plains Singers, I always have to stop and think about that, which is a smaller, more intensive group for just high school singers who want to really dedicate their week just to choir, music theater, and so forth. During that week, you would get lots of work on choir, literature, techniques, breathing, also vocal diction, maybe solo repertoire, different techniques, and so forth. So it's a great place for high school singers to get an intensive week of study with great conductors and voice teachers. Also in this space, you might find here on the floor in front of me, you might find string quartets practicing or rehearsing during the week of camp. So this hall is used for a large number of things during camp, including jazz. All of our special jazz improv sessions are in here. So it's a great place to get some intensive musical work done. Right now, I am standing on stage of the Felton Start Theater. This is where all of the musicals and the plays for the university are produced. I'm going to have my photographer go out, and actually we have a special guest. Tommy, say hi, just wave. And up in our booth is Carl, who's our technical advisor here on campus. But we've had Mamma Mia, the Three Tenors, so many plays and musicals in here that are just phenomenal. Tommy is our theater director, and as I said, Carl is our technical director. But what I love about this space during camp is that we can use this whole stage area for all of our music theater scenes. And like I said, on Sunday night, our students start learning the musicals. And we usually have anywhere from 8 to 10 scenes from one musical. We have done The Music Man, Oklahoma. I'm trying to remember, this is our 9th year of having the vocal portion of the camp. So in less than 1 week, they get all of these scenes staged and ready for the other campers and their parents and friends to come see it. And of course, those performances, any of the performances during camp are free. So if your parents want to come next year to see some of the concerts, they don't have to pay anything to get in and see you, the other campers, or our guest faculty perform. What we also have in here on Saturdays are the middle school orchestra, all the middle school string quartets, which usually we have 2 to 3 string quartets for the middle school, and then we also have 3, sometimes 4 high school string quartets, depending on the auditions. One thing I have not pointed out is that on Sunday of camp, after everyone would go through the registration, is everyone would have an audition. And you get lots of knowledge about that ahead of time, so you know what you're playing or singing when you get here. But after those auditions, then you have some free time on campus, do campus tours, while we hurriedly put all the auditions together and put everybody in their different ensembles. Your first rehearsal is 7 o'clock Sunday night, and that's when everything begins, with Johanna Cox directing the Tiger Band, which is the middle school band. And remember, middle school band is anyone going into 6th through 8th grades. And then we have Dr. Lilpop, Dr. Jordan conducting the concert band or the Palmer Honor Band, both high school. And high school ensembles are, if you're entering 9th grade and through your graduation year. So if you graduate in May, you can still come to camp that summer. And I know a lot of you are doing the online camp, even though this has been a difficult year. You didn't get to go to prom, many of you. You didn't get to walk through commencement. But I'm here to tell you, you still accomplished all the important things. And just because you didn't get to walk through commencement does not mean that you didn't earn that degree. So come to camp and get even more out of your musical training. Anyway, so we would have all of those things going on during the week on this stage. It's like a rotating door, lots of people coming in and out and making use of it. But this is the Felton Start Theater. If you ever come to campus for a play or a musical to see them, this is where you would come. Right now I'm standing outside of Malloy Hall on the campus of Fort Hays State University. As you can see behind me, we have this wonderful jester sculpture that was dedicated and placed here in front of the Music and Theater building in May of 2012. We have this red bud behind us that when it is spring, it blooms with all these beautiful colors. And then we have kind of this Art Deco design of the front of the building from the 1950s when it was originally built. So many of our campers will congregate here. We have a Starbucks in the Union, and a lot of our campers spend most of their money at the Starbucks. There's also lots of work being done on campus, so instead of me trying to talk over it, let's move on. Welcome to the backstage area of the Beach Schmidt Performing Arts Center. This is in Sheridan Hall, the administrative building on campus. And believe it or not, this used to be a basketball arena. And we're going to pan out so you can see this beautiful hall. When they transformed this from a basketball arena to this beautiful performing space and meeting hall, no one could believe afterwards that it hadn't been built from the beginning for the arts. It has exceptional acoustics. It's so much fun to perform in here, and also for all of the evening concerts that are free, you can sit out here in these comfortable chairs and watch. Now, on Saturday, when you would have all of your concerts, the middle school clarinet choir, the high school woodwind quintet, the middle school and high school percussion ensembles and so forth, and then the middle school band, both high school bands, and one thing I haven't really touched on much is the middle school and high school orchestras. We have people that come from all over the state that just work with our string players. These are specialists in each of those string families of instruments. And then they work with you to give you different techniques on bowing, on posture, on keeping your shoulders relaxed while you're playing, and outstanding Mozart, Schubert, and other composers and their repertoire. So on Saturday, you would come in from the back of this hall, and then you would wait right here in the back area. There would be a curtain that would come down here. You would enter the stage, and all your parents and friends would be in this beautiful hall watching you in your concert dress perform as if this was an actual professional performance. So then you would go out the other side. When you're done, all the middle school campers are done on Saturday of camp at noon. And then the concerts for the high schoolers go until about 3:30 in the afternoon, and then you're done. So Sunday through Saturday, if you're staying on campus in the dorms, with your meals already paid for, your room, your t-shirt you get free because you've already paid for your registration when you're at camp here on campus. All of that happens for $450, nothing added in. And then if you're a day camper, you can live, some people live with their grandparents. They come to Hayes or nearby towns to stay with their grandparents, and then they're here on campus during the day, and then in the evenings they're with family and people that they know. And that is $200, I believe $200. I'll have to double check that one. But anyway, so this would culminate your camp experience, and it's just one of my favorite places that I've ever been in to perform. So here we are in the quad on campus of Fort Hays State University. Now right behind me you can see the Union, the Memorial Union, and this is where we have the black and gold room, the ballroom, and tons of rehearsal space. So we have the middle school band and the concert band primarily in this building. Now, as our photographer will do a slow zoom around the campus, you can see that this quad is absolutely beautiful. It's maintained throughout the year. There are places to sit inside the Union. We have the bookstore where you can buy t-shirts, and actually I think now they call it the Tiger Spirit Shop. Sorry about that. But you can buy t-shirts and water bottles and candy and all kinds of stuff. And then right inside the door as you would go into the Union is the Starbucks. And I started to say earlier, that's where a lot of people spend the majority of their money they bring to camp, because they get Starbucks. We always encourage good nutrition during camp and lots of water and Gatorade because it's hot. Now, you and your parents may be wondering, I'm a 6th grade tuba player, and I have this huge instrument that is about as big as I am. So how am I going to walk across campus? Well, we always have a couple of motorized vehicles that we can take you from the dorms to Malloy Hall, the music building, to the Union for rehearsals. So whenever we know there are students who need help carrying instruments, we've had people here on crutches before from injuries. So we do make accommodations to make sure that you can get around where you need to be without feeling overwhelmed. So that's our tour of the High Plains Music Camp on the campus of Fort Hays State University. We hope you have a great week. I want to do a couple of special thank yous. I want to thank Cameron Shoemaker and Adam Flax, who have made this recording available to you as our recorded welcome. And I want to thank Hillary Shepard, the assistant camp director, who has sent emails to each and every one of you and has done all the work with the Zoom sessions and putting out fires and so forth. So I thank all of them and all of our faculty who have donated all of their time. I do encourage you to go to the special presentations today at 2 o'clock. Johanna Cox is going to be talking about the history of the Sousa Band, the All-State Middle School Sousa Band, and how you can audition for that and become a part of that. Dr. Lil Pop is going to be doing a special presentation on marching band for not only those who are marching on the field, but also for drum majors. And at 2 o'clock, we also have a special presentation by Jacob Gutierrez, who was in the Broadway production of Aladdin until it unfortunately closed down. But he's going to be talking to you about auditioning and how he got to where he's at, And then at 1 o'clock on Friday, we're having another special guest from Broadway. He's living in New York right now still with his family. And that is Jeff Crady. And he had just ended his run of Tootsie. And he's been in so many shows. His bio is on the homepage of the website for the camp. And anyway, he will be also presenting to not just the vocal campers, but anyone who wants to hear what he has to say about the industry, auditions, and what you should study before you get to the place where you're going to be auditioning. So those are some of the special things. But as we said, we made this camp free because we knew how important music has been to all of us. We wanted to share that with you. So please thank all of the teachers that you have this week because they are donating their time for you. Have a good week.